at several times in the past, and it is currently in that same situation. And in that same section of drain, there are currently a couple of down trees. I walked that section again last Friday, and the one's actually a top in the drain, and there's a full-size tree that's down in the drain. To the east of 475, the county road 550 north is on the south side of the road, and the ditch is completely lined with trees on the north side of the ditch. And there are places along 550 that it has eroded considerably toward 550 north. As far as the scope of the work proposed, pretty routine list. I'll go down through those 9 items. Would be, and these are in no particular order. We would anticipate to remove the majority of the trees on both sides of the drain and remove sandbars to prevent further meandering of the drain. We would reconstruct and strengthen the levee as needed, and also construct rock chutes at surface water inlets, install riprap preventment in turns and other areas where required, and also preserve private drainage and farm subdrainage tile emptying into the drain. All the disturbed areas would be reseeded, and we would routinely spray the drain to control brush and weeds, and any excavation needed would be done as needed to keep the drain open. As far as financial status, this drain owes the general drain fund from money spent back in 1987 for stump treatment in the amount of $376.40. The watershed as currently delineated consists of 17 tracts that are 3.33 acres or less. We would consider those lots. And the remainder of acreage, 1,365 acres, is in tracts of 3.33 acres or over. As far as the periodic annual maintenance, it's been estimated that would be $2,000 after the drain is cleaned initially. And then another change that was added since the last hearing. The board directed the surveyor's office to revise the previous assessment schedule and include a 200-foot corridor on both sides of the drain that would be assessed at a higher rate at $12 an acre versus the previous assessment of $4 an acre. The remainder of the watershed would stay the same at $15 a lot and $4 an acre. So the new assessment schedule total would be $5,976.60 versus the previous assessment, which is $5,715. Jeff, not really part of the surveyor's report as such, but I had a couple of photos that I didn't show at the previous meeting that I found. I kind of forgotten about them. And these 2 photos were taken on July 30th of 2021 after about a 5 or 6 inch rain north of Hope. Came in several hours. That water came down Hawk Creek, backed up into Chicken Creek, and breached the levee on Chicken Creek, and then flowed across the farm fields downstream. 2021. Yep. And these are taken like on 400 east. It's about a quarter mile north of what would be 550 north. So this is looking west at a culvert pipe under 400 east. And like I said, this is the day after that rain, and very little rain was received here on site. And I'm not just. The That field there would be Feesback, Joe Feesback and Sally and David Feesback. The corn would be Scheit Farms. If you're familiar with the area, that those buildings there would be Nate Scheidt's old place. These trees here are on the north side of Hawk Creek on Dick Wetzel's property. So that's water flowing through the culvert. And figure out how to. Next one is turned 180 degrees, looking, well, not quite 180. This is east, southeast, across the road. There's the culvert pipe right there taking water. You zoom in here. This is also Feesbeck's field. That is what was Bob Nolting's house. It's been removed, and there's Bill Nolting's barn. So this water is what water's coming from Chicken Creek across the fields, headed back toward Hawk Creek. I just wanted to show you those photos. Any questions on any of that? Be glad to.
Yeah, that water there, that's on the road like you're going up toward the Hall Creek Bridge, like you're going to Clifford. That's in the field there.
That
Well,
is,
that's over by Hall Creek. That Chicken Creek stops back there where it goes into Hall Creek.
it came over the levee on Chicken
They
Creek.
better work on Hall Creek this week. Our water can't get down. I mean, you know, it's gotta go somewhere.
Well,
I mean, that's not a issue, that's not a place.
no, that's too far away. That is on Chicken Creek is where the levee back, the froze. It overtops the levee.
You said the flooding in this field here is a result of, and obviously not within your watershed, but this is something that where the water has breached that levee. And he's showing downstream what is happening because the water system, the water levee on Chicken Creek is not up to par. This is what's causing other issues downstream.
The original
So,
approach maintenance was to remove trees and clean it out rather than, you started by saying the drainage culverts were big enough for the drainage, so how's that gonna fix that?
The levee?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not flowing, it's not because trees need removed at the time. That was how you started by saying that the culverts were already big enough for water flow. That wasn't what you're looking to fix. You're looking to take out trees and clean out sandbar.
Correct. Well, this is the levee issue, not necessarily a culvert issue. And the pictures are just evidence of the levee issue.
So the culverts is the county highways department? Or is that part of drainage also? Cause I got a real doozy for you on that. And I'll just tell you real quick, while we're talking about the culverts. I up there where my house is, it's 600.
Mark, I guess, so I guess we need to open the public comment.
Okay.
Public comments.
We need to get names and everything on the record, so
Yeah.
let's forward get
Hold
to
on.
that point.
Okay, anything else, Tom?
That's it on the surveyor's report.
Okay, we covered the proposed assessments.
I think so, and with that, unless you have some questions.
Any questions about that?
Same as what the board had previously, with the exception of that 200-foot corridor on both sides of the drain.
Okay, the written correspondence.
Okay. with the holidays, most of the correspondence we received was during the period where we weren't able to compose a letter and get it out to you at the time when your packets was mailed out. So, we just combined all this tonight and it was in front of you this evening. I know it's not a lot of time to look all those over, but we didn't really have a other opportunity to get those to you till now. And I just put together one response letter because there was some general themes on most of the letters that just made more sense to have one response letter. And we did receive objection letters from the following folks: Darrell Woodard, Mark Holder, Dan Ledwinka, Richard and Donna Young, Dorothy Burton, Kevin and Terry Young, and also a petition signed by several property owners in the watershed. And I did not list the names on the petition because several of the names they're ineligible. I just can't read their signature, and they don't have an address with them, so I wasn't going to guess at their names. I'm sure they're in the watershed, but I didn't list their names because I just couldn't tell who everybody was. There was, in my response letter, there's three general, I guess, things mentioned, or three themes. The first, there was mentioned by several folks that the property owners are capable of maintaining their individual portions of Chicken Creek. And I think that becomes with some of the misunderstanding about the regulated portion as to what the board's jurisdiction is. And while it may be true that those individuals can maintain their own portion, or maybe they have been, that's not the regulated portion that we're talking about. Frankly, the Lord's Drain has not been maintained for many years, several years at least. In '94, there was an agreement with 4 property owners in the watershed that they would maintain the drain rather than have an assessment schedule put on the watershed. And they had good intentions, no doubt about it. They did do some spraying and did some other work. I think they took down some down trees on the lower end that were in the ditch at one time. And I know Dan Lenwica did some work along the county road as well as the county highway. But after several years of that, the maintenance just dried up and there was no maintenance, has not been very little maintenance since then. And all 4 of those property owners are deceased. They're not with us anymore, so they're obviously not doing the work. Another thing that was mentioned several times was, and more particularly the petition alleges that the surveyor's maintenance report doesn't provide information on what the drain assessment funds will be used for. And I just read the 9 items in the surveyor's report, and I mean, I can read those again, but I think it's pretty clear what those 9 items were, and they're in the surveyor's report, and I don't think there's any question about the intent of what would be done. And the third item kind of revolves around the 10-inch drainage tile that was installed by Dan Lenwica previously that outlets into Hall Creek. And it certainly has improved the drainage in that area, no doubt about it. But we have included it in the watershed based on that watersheds on open ditches are determined by topography, basically which way the surface water runs. We don't consider subsurface tile drainage. You can have a tile that is in this watershed and drains to another drain, but if the surface water comes to this drain, it's in the watershed. Dan's tile is a little different.
because it does pick up some surface water. So it's a little bit unique. But we have still included it in the watershed. And just to throw out some numbers to you, that these numbers could be changed around a little bit depending on how you want to, what kind of rainfall you want to look at or whatever. But theoretically, a 10-inch pipe can handle a 4-inch rain off about 5 acres. We've got 350 acres coming down that sub-watershed. So obviously, a 4-inch rain on 350 acres, that 10-inch tile is not gonna take all that surface water. That 350 acres would probably require more like a 5 or 6 foot diameter pipe to handle a 4-inch rain. So compared to the 10-inch that's there now. So, so I guess we're gonna leave it to you guys to consider what impact that 10-inch tile has as far as benefits. If it needs a reduction in assessment rate, I guess we're gonna let you guys make that call, but we have included it in the watershed.
Other than just a few phone calls, that's the only correspondence that we've received, Jeff.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Now, in the interest of efficiency and making sure we don't waste anybody's time, we will open this up to public hearing, but we'd like each commenter to limit their comments to about 3 minutes. And so all people that are here have an opportunity to speak and still get home before supper. So anybody have any comments?
I'm gonna recuse myself.
Yes, that's right.
Do you want me to? Okay. Okay.
So if you can come up to the table and
Yeah.
state your name and address so we can hear it, because it's on, we have to put everything on YouTube now, so gotta make sure that people in cyberspace can hear you. So name, address, and speak up so they can hear you.
What's YouTube?
What?
I don't even know what YouTube is.
My name is Larry Howard. I live at the headwaters of Chicken Creek. Don't have any problems with Chicken Creek because I took care of all my problems when I first moved in there. The first year I was there, Chicken Creek flooded and it took out my driveway to where I couldn't even get to my house. I had to go to my neighbor's house, which is the Burtons, which is to the south of me, and traverse across their yard, drive across their yard, into their cornfield, into my yard to get to my house. I spent $8,200 on a bridge and other items of interest to take care of that. Now, how did I do that? I was in the construction business for over 30 years. I built locks and dams and all kinds of watershed articles throughout the United States and out of the United States as well. I know how to handle water. So I don't have a water problem anymore. Let me ask you a question. Who owns Chicken Creek? Property owners do. Why don't we leave it to the property owners to take care of their own problems?
It's a county drain.
Shit. I think you're talking in circles, partner. It's not a matter of the money. It's a principle. Like I said, I spent almost $8,000 on what I had to spend to take care of the problem with Chicken Creek on my property. Tony Holder as well took care of another drainage tile that was further on down the way from my place. My place doesn't flood anymore because I took care of my problem. My question is, why am I paying to take care of somebody else's problem? Y'all don't own the creek. I don't own the creek. No answers to any of my questions?
I can tell you that in,
Tony?
that's the 3 minutes.
Well,
So I appreciate your comments.
I think that's a wash, but I'll shut up. I've had my 3 minutes.
Okay,
the rip, Skip.
Well, I need more than 3 minutes. Name's Tony Holder, address is 7425 North, 600 East, Hope, Indiana's Hope address. It's where I reside. My first question here would be for the board, the people, everybody here, that this was done 3 months ago. And the people, which I have addressed, you have a copy of the written petition. I went to talk, people come to my house, they call me. So I got busy and said, hey, everybody said, what's going on? They don't know. The people want to know. I went and talked to personally 20 of them. That's totally against this. A lot of people are old, they're 90, sick, and we can get the people here if we have to. I now have access to 2 handicap buses. We have to bring people again. But, we're trying to deal with this, but people just don't understand that we were here 3 months ago. And it was to my knowledge, because I wasn't here because of a heart condition, that it was voted down and it was a dead issue. Now, nobody likes to have their taxes raised. I don't, nobody does, but for the good and show the good, but wasn't shown to the people, and it was turned down at that meeting. Now, the people were a little upset about it the first time they got the letter, but they get this other one, and 3 months later, it's back, was told it was dropped. Now it's not dropped. We're here again. Now the people's not angry, they're pissed off, and they want some answers. They feel like they're getting railroaded. And they've heard, I don't know if it's true, I don't know, all you guys, whatever, but they heard a couple board members are going off the board at the end of the year and they're trying to slide this through or whatever. I don't know if that's true or not. But people just wanting answers. They have taken care of their stuff, like he said. And down there, I still don't, I'd like to know what, here later, I can do that later if there's gonna have questions, but to what side that's coming out on the levee and exactly understand that. But, where do we start there? We have issues down Hall Creek, that water goes down, nobody cleans it out. I drive to Columbus all the time. There's trees sideways down there I've dropped for years. Who takes care of it? I mean, our water goes to there. Where do we stop with this? Then it goes to White River and on down, and it's a mess down there. I mean, I don't understand how that's affecting us, but like I said, it was taken care of. It's been all my life, 62 years of people. It's been all right. It's been flowing fine. And I've walked Chicken Creek more than any human being alive today on this earth, because my grandpa, when he maintained that area down Chicken Creek Road, which was given, by the way, the ground for the road used to end at Frank Yaley's house. Remember, Tom? I mean, it ended. There was no road. My family had a lane along Chicken Creek and gave the county, we give them the land to put the road in. Okay, so they put the road in, they took it to take it over. Well, when they took it over, then from that ditch on into the creek, that should be the county highways. Because it's not a part of that become their ground for the road. So they should maintain that, far as I'm concerned, that stretch of straight road. Because my grandpa's life, I walked that creek as a kid when I was that high, cleaned it out by hand. if it's something, we didn't own a chainsaw, he didn't. We cut it by hand, we pulled it out, kept it clean. And I've walked it, I've hunted it all, Chicken Creek, and it flows. If this stuff comes out on somebody's property, people take care of it, and if it's on the property, it's flooding out there. Now, this other issue down here where I guess I don't understand it.
Right there, Tony.
Okay, so that is on, okay, let's just try to get
Here's
this.
Fall Creek, and here's Chicken Creek,
This is Chicken Creek.
2004 photo. Right there's where
The
the
levee gave out.
Okay, so whose property is that on right there?
Nolting,
That's on Nolting's,
well, Mary Margaret's.
but it's been fixed. Well, speaking of, all right, all right, now back to these, these signatures. You guys get a copy of that, of the signatures of everybody? I mean, if can't, yeah, they probably should have been written out, but people, there's 29 people that signed it. I personally talked to 20, everybody's upset about it, nobody wants it. But not the biggest issue, there's a lot of issues. They just didn't understand that it was voted down, was told. And I'm asking you, here, was it not voted down for the last meeting? Said there was not enough evidence to pursue it and proceed. So it's a dead issue. Well, dead issue is a dead issue.
Your 3 minutes is up. The last meeting, the support from out here, there didn't seem to be any support for it at all. And however, the situation in the creek, we took a look at it.
There was no support for it, you're saying?
Exactly. And,
Okay, all
all
right,
right, but now
okay, I'm with you. I'm just trying to hear, I can't hear very good.
the condition of the creek requires the board to do something. And once we realized how serious the condition is, we decided to reopen it. Now, we tried to adjust it, the schedule of assessments, so that the people who would most directly benefit, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, who would most directly benefit would be paying more than the people farther away from the creek, but still in the watershed. So that was the reason we'd come up with a new schedule of assessment. So then we reopened it.
Okay.
All right, so that's why. Now, we've seen Chicken Creek, the part that is legal drain. You talk about things downstream and away from that. We have no jurisdiction beyond the
You do not
39.
have any jurisdiction.
We do not have any jurisdiction over anything beyond the 3,975 feet
We don't have jurisdiction over the maintenance.
over the maintenance,
Right.
okay? But we do have a responsibility
Yeah, well,
over the part that's considered a legal drain.
all right, but he also said, in 90 days, the creek didn't get any worse. So 90 days, it was all right to turn it down, but now you're not. So people's a little upset about it. I mean,
I understand
and
that.
they would probably, if this gets past whatever, they're gonna appeal.
Well,
And that's
Okay.
fine, and that's fine.
Yeah.
That's another process.
all right. Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, okay.
I'm Kevin Young. I live at 10499 East, 600 North, Columbus, Indiana. And Chicken Creek Drain does my home farm no good whatsoever. The water stops on where Likens Farms. They have put in it's an 8-inch tile, and of course, we talked about Dan Ledwinka's tile that drains the ditch. If we have a flood, the water just goes out in the field a little bit till it can recede back to the drain. So it's not, it'd have to be a flood like we had flooded Columbus to get it to go through that field. I've had the guys out there, they've been through there. Where the water goes is like a snake. It can't even get there. The ditch needs to be dug out all the way to Hall Creek, which I talked to Jason last night about it. It's what needs to happen, so. We could get that ditch open all the way through there. We could get that water moving. But there is no outlet on our farm to that chicken creek. He says the water goes that way from the surveyor's report 30 years ago, whatever, but it doesn't go there. We didn't have that 10-inch or 8-inch tile in there that Dan put in, we have no out. I see no reason for us to pay more taxes for something that does our farm no good whatsoever. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Kevin.
Come on, use your 3 minutes, though. That's such a long time.
Any other comments?
Now, can we ask questions or is this a separate deal?
You had a question?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, back to this levy first off. So that is on the side of Bob Nobles. So I'm trying to understand this. Well, Bob, ex-county commissioner, Bob was big on the levy, had all the people working on it that needs done, he did it. Now, just this week, just yesterday, this talk to Evan Klaus, which farms Nolte's ground, and Mary Margaret Nolte ended up with half, and Billy Bob Nolte the other half. So this lower part would be the part that she's on, Chick Creek. The higher part drains to Hall Creek, and that would be Billy Bob Nolte's. So with this levy, so Mary Margaret told Evan, if there's any issues with that levy, to have the work done, and she's got to excavate people, and to send her the bill, she'd take care of it. And anytime there's been a levy issue, Bob Nolte has taken care of putting the levy there. He spent his whole life doing it. And I don't know about the trees on the Nunn side down there, but anybody else gets a tree up through the thing, it's only gonna restrict them and cut in their field. They get in there, and I mean, they should be told, and I think they take care of the problem too. I mean, I think this can be taken care of by people. So some of them may not be aware of, make them aware of it. In fact,
Well, I've always done it. I'll take care of my own problems.
but back this drainage on up by my way, when I bought this one place I'm living at now 30 some odd years ago, it's a damn mess. I mean, Robert knows, front yard was, the spillway was washed on the pond. I have several hundred acres, which is a part of Chicken Creek drainage. And everybody up there was getting assessed for this on the fields. All this water come, and everybody here knows it's a mess. I mean, the spillway was washed out, ravine across the yard. But they did have a big tile crossing the road. It was, when they took it out, it's 5 foot, come up to me here, it's 5 foot by at least 8 foot. So I was even told that I could get county to fix the stuff in my yard. I didn't take the money, didn't want nobody's money. I fixed it. I got rewarded by they have my taxes, so that's okay. But my issue is when they replaced the culvert crossing the road, I put my spillway overflow as an 18-inch, but it does go over the top because that's just like any other waterway. What do they put across it? A 30-inch tile. Now, get your calculator out and figure out the volume on a 5 by 8 oval versus a 30-inch. Since then, my basement floods, crosses back up. I have 5 foot of water in my front yard. It crosses over the road. Take some pictures of that. I got good pictures. I have video of it. I went through 3 furnaces that's backed up, water heaters, probably 10 or 12 well pumps that this backs up, which in 100 years prior to this tile crossing the road not being put in right has cost me thousands of dollars. Now, nobody wants to do shit about that when it's done, but if it's anybody else, but that needs addressed. Let's start off with something like that. And maybe that's the county highway, but getting them to do anything right.
Mr. Heller, did you say you live on 600 East?
600 east.
That would be a county highway issue. That's completely separate than,
Right.
that's completely separate than our conversation tonight, so.
But it's got all, talk about water, It says this backs up over here to go to the road. Well, that's an issue, but this is an issue too. It's Chicken Creek drain water. All the people over there are getting assessed for that drain on this project.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so is this gonna be voted on again now? And when will we know the results of?
The decision of the board's the next item on the agenda.
So you'll vote on today? Why we're here?
Mhm.
Okay, I don't know how this works. I'm just asking questions. It's how you learn. So, okay, yeah, I don't know. Robert, you got anything to say?
I should have, but I don't. I do not like
I can't hear you, Robert.
everything in the line. I can't hear you either.
It's a little, it is, I mean, when I asked you, it's hard to hear. Hell, they ought to get a wall. You could not hear this traffic out here. I can hear that fine out there. I mean, geez.
Robert, do you have anything you want to say?
I farm on the top end of Chicken Creek. We attempt to take care of our properties and maintain the ditch so we can drain it. This Chicken Creek's been in existence clear back to 1892, and now we're working, resolving theoretically a problem that has existed that nobody's been aware of until here just recently.
Robert, you might not have been here, I don't know, but I think Tom went through.
Can you hear him? You wanna come up closer? You wanna come up closer?
Not really.
Okay,
I
all
don't think-
right, I'll talk loud for you, Robert.
There you go.
All right. Tom has put together a list of the times that this Chicken Creek Adam Lortz drain has come up for discussion. It's not that it's been only been a problem, hasn't been a problem since 1892. It's been a problem that's been addressed multiple times over the last several years. So this isn't a new issue. And historically, what these documents will show you, and you're welcome to read them, is that the Drainage Board has consistently worked with property owners and allowed property owners to take care of the Chicken Creek drain. In a couple, I think in one or two cases, we split the costs between the county and the property owners. So we've got a long history of working with you folks. The problem is now nobody's taking care of the legal portion of the drain.
That's not true.
It is true. I was there. I saw it.
Well, okay, then it's not that way right now. It has been fixed and you guys didn't fix it.
No, we were there what night, Kevin? What, last week? We went in there, I think the 23rd or so, maybe 20, anyway, somewhere along in there, and looked at the condition of the drain. In one case, I saw personally that there's probably a tire width, truck tire width.
This is on Bob Nolte?
This is on 550?
Bob Nolte's what he told me a minute ago. So I'm trying to get this straight, you know, I mean, because Bob Nolte.
This is along 550, okay?
50 Street.
550, and that's the part of it that we have responsibility for. And it's very close to the road, and there are several sandbars, there are several trees down.
It's on the south side of the road?
It's on the north side,
That's,
okay? Now, I've allowed you to speak, okay?
I'm just trying to understand.
I know you are. And I'm trying to explain it to you. That drain needs attention desperately. And the kind of pictures we saw, we'll see again, even worse. And we may not be able to prevent that kind of thing from happening, but we can darn sure make sure it gets away as quick as possible. And that's the part of the drain that we have responsibility for. And now, I know people don't want to pay any taxes. They don't want to pay money. They don't know that it's doing them any good. If it does its job right, you shouldn't be able to notice it except in extreme weather.
I have another question. But I'm not allowed to ask another question?
No, I'm
Well, I
ready.
mean, and that's ought to be on none side to the north, correct, Tom? That's so if it's all 550, which is Chicken Creek Road, is saying where he's seeing this, and it's on the north side, which would be Nunn's ground, correct? Okay, everybody on this side, Nunn's, I don't know if they do anything. They took all their waterways out over there. They haven't maintained their ground. Has anybody brought this to their attention to take care of it? Because it's their side of the thing that's doing it. Our sides are, it's taken care of. And like I said, everybody's taking care of it, but it's evidently it's just them that's not taking care of their side. So to me, they should take care of their side. Everybody else taking care of theirs. The water flow is not getting out. When it gets out in your field, it's to your benefit to get your side fixed so it don't get out in your field.
We have an easement 75 feet on either side of a legal drain. It's our problem.
75 feet each way, on each side. So that the south side, then all Chicken Creek, which was, I said, the road is given to them, that should be taken care of by the county highway, not the people.
I don't know about the highway. They take care of the road.
Well, a road is the county highway.
Right.
Well, they was given the road in order, if they would do the road and take care of the road, was given that. So you take back from there down the road, they can reach everything in the grado. I'd say it's their responsibility on the south side. Now the north, it's washed out. It's the Nunn ground. They need to take care of their own problem, or I'm concerned. I think it's everybody views it in our area the same way, because people have taken care of their stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? Then the public comment period is hereby closed. Any comments from the board?
Yeah, Jeff. This is not an area I'm familiar with. And so I'm just sitting and listening and trying to read paper and understand as best as I can. And it bothers me that we don't have anyone here supporting it, but it is maintenance. And I'm a firm believer in maintenance of anything you do, whether it's a waterway or a piece of equipment or what. And I have a hard time not doing maintenance on something that's already been established. And I keep hearing comments about, well, there's comments in here about it hasn't been maintained for several years. People are saying it doesn't work. It probably doesn't work because it hasn't been maintained. I don't know all the details. I'm just going by what I hear. And it seems to me like that there's several people out here that are upset with it. And maybe it's so been ill maintained for so long, and I'm not blaming anybody. Everybody's doing what they can. But when it gets to a certain point of maintenance, you give up on it. I mean, we do that with equipment or anything. You give up on it when it gets to a bad point of maintenance. And I just have a hard time not maintaining something. I would rather they abandon it than to maintain it, than to not maintain it. Because if it's our responsibility, we need to maintain it.
I have a question. If my driveway gets washed out again, so I can't get onto my piece of property, y'all gonna come up and fix that for me?
Is it within 75 foot of the right of way of the drainage,
Yep,
of the legal drain?
yep.
Of the legal drain, not the highway, the legal drain.
The legal drain, not Chicken Creek,
No, the legal drain.
the legal drain portion of Chicken Creek.
That's the only thing we're concerned with.
We're only talking about less than 4,000 feet.
And where is this located?
From right.
At the end of
here,
Chicken Creek.
from right there at Hall Creek to right here, 4,000 feet. That's it. All this other 7,000 feet is private drain.
I got nothing else to say. How about you?
So are you wanting to claim the private part of it all the way up? No, nothing up in the upper part, correct? I mean, like right here, I've talked to 20 people and nobody understands it, they're just trying to understand what it is, so. And I've got to go back and talk to all these people because they're old. Some of them's 93 years old, some of them's in bad health, but they're concerned about it. But go ahead.
Okay, any other comments from the board?
Well, I was with Jeff when, Kevin and, Dan Lemwinka, give us a good tour of the area. And, again, it's, I don't know that it's hard for you all to understand. It's, every area has its peculiarities. I got to thinking as I was taking, it's funny what you think of. As I was taking my shower tonight to come in here, I was thinking back to, when I had to finally bite the bullet to drain my farm where I live. And it had to go through a neighbor. And frankly, he was tired of the old tile blowing out. And the old tile was undersized. And it ended up, we replaced that tile. And it was before my late wife died, so it was before 2018. And that one cost me $22,000 just to get me an outlet. I think it was a 12 or 15-inch tile, and we bedded it in rock. And so I'd hate to do it today because it'd be over 30,000. You guys have got a unique drain up there, and it was interesting reading. And Tom, I want to thank you for putting this timeline together. I kind of surmise after looking at the drain with Kevin and Dan, I kind of got a feeling that back in 1890, I'm going to guess that maybe the man who owned a lot of that low ground was Adam Lortz. I'm just taking a good stab in the dark, because as Jeff and I rode around with Dan and Kevin, basically where this legal drain ends up there close to Dan's property, then the ground all starts to have slope. It slopes clear to Robert, and to you, Tony, and Kevin, that piece of property over there on 600 East. But all that nun ground, I can imagine back in the day, some of the best ground in that watershed, but it's some of the wettest and the flattest. And that's probably why Mr. Lortz pushed to get that ditch dug.
Carl, he owns 60 acres, basically where Mark Holder owns today. So
That's all.
60 acres there.
Huh. And I would suspect that back in the day, that ground on the south side there that Mark owns would likewise, and it's good and flat, good flat ground. But it was good and wet back then, and that's why they dug a ditch 5 feet deep, trying to lower the water table a little bit. So, I guess I'm not gonna say anything that's just gonna be earth shattering or enlightening. The ditch, again, the drainage board is responsible for what is called a regulated drain. And, so that's why we're here discussing it. And I'm going to say, I'm not attacking anyone. Property owners in this watershed have been pretty consistent about not wanting the county to assess them and do work on the ditch. And it goes clear back to back in the day when Marvin Finke was a commissioner and Harold Vollen and Don Strudamar were on the drainage board. And, you know, all those guys have passed. And so now here we are tonight. And the drain as it stands needs work. The regulated part of the ditch needs work. It's hard to argue with you guys that the property owner right there along the ditch ought to be the one to clean and take care of the ditch. But right now, it's a regulated ditch. And I'm want to be honest and fair. And I spoke to our attorney this morning. Should I tell him what I asked you, Jim?
You can tell them whatever you want, Carl. It's not me. Just don't tell me who's gonna win the Rose Bowl.
I told Jim, I said, and Jim is supposed to keep us out of trouble and keep us legal. But I said that, you know, there isn't a lot of support. Ronnie's right there. There's not a lot of support. And the property owners that border that legal part, they're not here tonight. They're not here in this audience. They may be watching on YouTube. But I said, I don't know what the drainage board's gonna do here in the next few minutes. But I said, that a lot of the people, if not all of them, that sign these petitions feel that strong about this issue that perhaps they should petition the drainage board to make Chicken Creek not a regulated ditch anymore. Right. And it would not be under our jurisdiction. And then it would be the property owner's problem.
It's my vote.
Now, Commissioner Kleinhans said this morning, and I was a little surprised that he said that. He said, you know, somebody at some time thought it was really important to make that a regulated drain. But I turned and asked Jim, I said, okay, if these property owners that sent us these letters want to petition to abandon the ditch. And then in 15 years, I'm just picking a number, they decide, gee, maybe we shouldn't have done that. Can they come back and petition the drainage board to make it a regulated drain again? And Jim, what is the answer to that question?
The first, I guess, first answer on all that, Carl, is the board has responsibility to, either have the drain as, construction or maintenance. And the third option, the regular drain can be vacated if three things have happened. To vacate a regular drain, somebody has to petition it. They have to be found, the board has to find the drain does not perform the function for which it was designed and constructed, or it has become inadequate to properly drain all the affected land and their current conditions. That's one criteria that has to be made to vacate. Second, the expense of reconstruction outweighs the benefits of reconstruction. That's number two. Number three is the vacation will not be detrimental to the public welfare. So that's what has to be shown in this hearing, in the public hearing, have some petitions that the drain's not performing, it's too costly to fix, and it's the best interest of the public not to be a drain. And so that's the burden they'd have to show to vacate it.
Okay.
And that's a pretty big burden.
Is there any?
Yeah, it's pretty complicated, isn't it?
Property owner that has a problem with it? I mean, I'm just saying, how did it come about?
Anyway, that's, so it can be vacated and you can apply for a legal drain anytime. I mean, as a county, we just applied for a legal drain up by Taylorsville.
Yeah.
So it's a process of a landowner petitioning and presenting the evidence of why it should be a legal drain or why it should be vacated.
Okay. So guys, I want you to know that what we do here, we really take serious. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what we do in county government. We do try to be fair, as best we can. We're obliged to be fair by the law. So again, I haven't said nothing, I guess, earth shattering. But that's what exists as of now.
Any other comments from the board? Thank you, Carl.
Jim, if the maintenance assessment is voted on, they can still vacate at any point, correct? Even if there's tax assessment on it, right? Whether they say yay or nay. Property owners in whole have a right to ask for that to be vacated if they can prove.
So what the process would be, I mean, the challenge would be is if you're in the middle of maintenance and you've bid it and expenses, you have to process all that. So at the end of the day, when a decision is made, okay, any petitioner, any landowner can petition and file an appeal in circuit court. That appeal, once that appeal is filed, it would put everything on hold for determination. And that in theory would give them time to file a petition. But, they got a 30-day.
Property owners, yes.
Yeah, I got a 30-day window from, if a decision is made tonight to approve the assessment, they have 30 days to file an appeal of that decision. I just looked and said 30. I thought it was 22. It'd be 20 is the safe side. Did I just?
Is it 26 or 30? I need to know this shit.
Assume it's 20, Mark. Assume it's 20.
And now you really pissed me off. You called me Mark. We're gonna stand outside here in about a minute.
I'll let you fight Jim, my brother.
Guys, I don't want to talk out of turn. you know, a part of me, after Kevin showed, I don't know what you want to call the little ditch that comes from Northrop King and goes through, down through Young's. And,
The one that stops.
yeah,
Just stops.
Stop.
you know, yeah. You know, there's part of me that, you know, if I was the Youngs, uh, I'd have been pissed a long time ago.
I question that, yeah.
I've been pissed a long time. They gonna build a big old warehouse over there, and who approved that?
You know, and I told, Mr. Kleinance and I told Mr. Schoaf this morning, I don't know who was totally responsible for bringing Northrop King up to that area. And it doesn't make any difference because it's been what, 45 years probably? 45 years. But sometimes in county government, so, you know, you can slap my hands because I'm part of county government. You know, sometimes we almost do anything to get economic development, and then we worry about the drainage later.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're facing up there, up by where 7K Farms warehouse is, and Hoosier Air Transport and the Waffle House. All that area right there that's gonna get developed is, what we're gonna do with all that water. And Kevin told me that, you know, when the Northrop King warehouse went in, that they essentially went down through that little ditch and made it a little bit bigger to make sure the water could get down there. And and then frankly, once it got to about the fence line, she just kind of stops.
Distribute.
And then when you get enough water, then it meanders through that Nun farm and then gets itself over to Chicken Creek. I mean, it's most of you guys are all very fortunate that you're higher than the Nun farm and Mark Holder's low ground there and the Nolding ground. Cause your water is gonna go that way, when you get a big rain. So,
Well, that's probably why drainage law is structured the way that it is so that it encompasses everybody uphill to take care of the downhill people.
and I think, I don't mean to dominate the conversation, but it goes clear back. Cause Larry actually brought it up this morning as well when we were together. You know, in some counties, there's a drainage tax. And it would be on your property tax bill, just like, I think there's, like for the bridges, we have a Cume Bridge Fund. And we collect about $2 million, which isn't enough money anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. We need to raise that assessment as well. But in some counties, they just flat tax everybody, and that money goes into the drainage fund. But our county, back in the 80s, the drainage board decided to tax people, as Jason here said, tax you on a watershed basis instead of just everybody in the county having to contribute to a drainage fund. So, you know, I don't know which one's more fair. I kind of think this is the more fair way. I mean, If you lived out at youth camp, would you love to be paying a little bit of a drainage tax when you're on the highest ground in Bartholomew County? I think it's the highest point. High Acres Orchard out there is the highest point in Bartholomew County. Well, you know what? Their water's gonna go downhill. So, anyway. I've probably talked enough, Jeff.
If, Tom, if we were to approve this, when would work start?
Well, if we'd have, depending on what amount of work we want to do, obviously, we wouldn't have any money.
Build up in maintenance fund for a few years. And our general drain fund is pretty heavily taxed currently, so the board would have to decide if they'd wanna borrow money from the general drain fund to use on Chicken Creek, or if they'd want Chicken Creek to build up its own money. So it's up to the board, but
The board decided that Chicken Creek had to build up its own money. It's gonna be a while.
Yes, certainly we would not do it all at once.
Yeah.
And we could prioritize whatever the board thought was most important. I mean, we could get a couple of trees out pretty quick. That would not be an issue. And then after that, whatever the board felt was most prudent. We could work on the levee, we could work on 550, protecting the road.
but I mean, just whatever the board felt was most important.
And so I understand what Jim said earlier. If we approve this, they have 20 days to
20 days.
file an appeal. And in that 20 days, they can petition for
Abandonment.
doing away with it. What,
Abandonment.
abandonment.
Vacation. There are two-
Vacate, yeah.
Yeah, vacate.
I just checked current as of July when the new statute came through, still 20 days from today to file an appeal. Once they file an appeal, then, it goes to the appellate process, not very fast either, but anytime they can file a petition to vacate. So the appeal's they're going through that process, they can file a petition to vacate. You have to have one property owner, they have to sign it, they have to have a hearing, you have to give notice to all the people in the watershed, all that. And so then, it would be, your decision would be on hold.
Right.
Until the appellate court made a ruling.
If the drainage board hadn't started yet, they could still file an appeal and put a hold on it? If it hadn't started
No.
work yet?
They can file a petition vacate at any time, right?
Yeah, they file a petition to vacate.
They don't have to appeal.
Okay.
I can't hear back here very good.
So you could file a motion to vacate anytime.
I heard that part, but a while ago
Okay.
you said 30 days, I heard 26
It's
days.
20 days.
And now I'm saying here 20.
It's 20, I just checked the statute, 20 days to
It's
file
20
an
days.
appeal, okay?
We're getting this traffic here. You can't, this is a piss board and have a meeting in.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's-
you're not the first person.
So you can't hear that.
I understand.
And Robert, he's old, I expect him not to hear, but we can't hear either.
So the
So
appeal,
that's an option to do that. Now, I have provision to file a motion to correct error with the board. But what the appeal does is puts their decision on hold. Okay.
I have a question for Jim.
Yeah.
I guess in order for the board to, for us to maintain our obligations,
Okay,
what are we trying to decide tonight? What are our what are our options?
your responsibility on illegal drain is, a regulated drain, is illegal. That, it has to be classified as either a drain in need of reconstruction, a drain in need of periodic maintenance, and a drain that should be vacated. So currently it's a drain that needs to be maintained. On Tom's list and got moved up a couple spots a few months ago. you can, tonight, you can make a decision to approve. You make a decision to deny, and you can make a decision to continue it. Those are your options.
Postpone. Shove it down the road.
So kick it to can.
Shove it down the road.
Wonder why that would
But
be
then,
advantageous.
and then understanding if any landowner files a petition to vacate, it's upon them to have the burden
Mhm.
to say that the drain is, drain does not perform the function for which it was designed and constructed or has become inadequate to properly drain all affected land under current conditions. 2, the expense of the reconstruction outweighs the benefits of of reconstruction. And 3, the vacation will not be detrimental to public health. So that's their criteria, and their criteria, the burden to come before this board and petition that. So from a standpoint, from, just in general terms, most everybody is neighbors, if the board wants to allow them to have that opportunity to file a petition to vacate it, I would just say that does not guarantee that it would be vacated. But then the proper thing to be do would just continue this and give them an opportunity, as opposed to going through approving it, have Tom start doing all of the things. If that's something that you think you want to give them the opportunity before you make a decision, then you can do that. That's really up to you. You can move ahead and they can appeal it, or you can deny it and then they won't appeal it if you deny it, I don't think. But
Oh, well, we're gonna appeal it.
yeah.
I was kidding. I said, oh, well, do the right thing.
That's kind of
If
where
we
you're
would,
at.
if we would approve it, a reason for my questions earlier, if we would approve going ahead with this, they can still go ahead and file a petition to vacate,
Yes.
Correct.
and we have to hold up until that's decided.
Well, I mean, in theory, yes, but I mean, the thing is, there's not gonna be any work. I mean,
Right.
it's gonna be kind of, in theory, if you a year from now, you've collected X dollars and done another work, and they want to file a motion to vacate it, then the funds get returned back to the property owner. No, they go back to the general fund.
Right.
They go to the
Right.
drain fund. Yeah, that's correct.
If this is approved tonight and the appeal doesn't have, when does the tax collection start happening?
Yeah, when does it?
That would be
Spring
spring
26.
spring
Spring
26
26.
payment is when the first one would be collected.
So actually, in reality, as long as that property tax hasn't went out for spring of 26, a vacation would, a petition to vacate would cut it off. If it was approved, if it was vacated, right?
In time.
In
Yeah,
time.
anytime, yeah. I think we're tired of shoving it down the road. I'm ready to make a motion that we go ahead with the maintenance, mainly because it's maintenance and we feel like it's our responsibility to maintain. It's not our responsibility to vacate, but personally, I don't have a problem if you guys think it needs to be vacated. Or the people in that area think it needs to be vacated, but I'll make a motion that we proceed with the maintenance work.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to proceed with the maintenance work as proposed in the surveyor's report and other documents on the Adam Lortz Chicken Creek regulated drain. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Thank you, guys.
I think it's pronounced great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's. Might not ever see you again. It's
Uh,
my time, old man. You take care of
You talk about old man. Good to see you again.
You too. Let's get the hell out of here.
We're starting on the next meeting already. Because we didn't have a regular Robert start time.
Kevin, did you get that gator running?
It's been running fine.
Has it?
Yeah.
I may have overloaded it.
Maybe it's too hot or something.
He may be pushing back the barn.
Yeah, we made it.
Yep.
Hey, I looked for it, so I tell you, I've been looking real hard, trying to find that $10,000 check and we talked this afternoon and I think she's gonna reissue it. So I don't know if it made it to my house or if it got lost in the US mail.
Not make it to your account anyway.
Yeah, for sure it's not my account. Yeah.
Okay, maintenance work?
Just a couple items. I think last meeting I reported on Sydney Branch,
Haven't had much activity up there.
there. After the excavation's been completed, we've been waiting on some frozen ground. And I talked to Jerry Wells before the meeting and he's gonna try tomorrow morning to get some riprap in. Hopefully the ground will hold him up enough to get a couple days in. And been spending most of my time out on the Tillman drain. The phase 2 reconstruction, the Darren Romine's been putting in. We're just about to the halfway point. We've gotten underneath the big sewer line twice. So it should get better as we go upstream, but it has been slow going.
How was your clearance?
We were touching. My second pass was perfect. Came out, we had 400s, but it was good. But he's been laying in water pretty much the whole way. Moving a lot of dirt, keep the banks pulled back. But it's going well, but it is slow going, so.
Now, here's what I understand.
He took the day off today because of the wind, but I think he'll be back out there tomorrow, so.
Did the tile go beneath that sewer line?
Yes, I thought it was, like, saying, I got some video too. Got a pretty big mountain of dirt that he's having to excavate and have to go back in the hole, so. That's about all we got, Jeff.
Okay,
Other than we've got some other things to do and I've got, I'm gonna wait on me.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm gonna have Ron and Jeff walk on here anyways. Good opportunity for.
Should have worn a Purdue jacket.
Look, hang on.
Do a partial assembly for you.
I don't know about this.
The next would be red.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I made one of these for each of you guys. What? Put in your yard or in back porch or wherever. Appreciate all your support.
My understanding, this is not the first two that he's ever made of these, so.
And I know both of you kind of lean a little red. So this is not John Deere green, this is Hunter green.
Hunter green,
I just want to let you
A little
know.
more Oliver, right?
Yeah.
Is that Purdue black and gold?
There you go. So you can take these this evening or I can deliver. If you want for each of you.
I'm not taking a CV.
I can, but.
Right, Jason?
I don't think it's gonna fit.
Okay, it's all right.
Open mom's car.
And,
Just put her on
we
top
have
of,
your
the top of
last
the roof, have some nice.
18 years on the board, is that six?
6 terms.
6 terms?
Yeah,
All right,
probably.
yeah, thank you. That is a much of appreciation. You've done a lot for this county, Ron, thank you. Appreciate it. You guys have taken a lot of time, of your calendar on the evenings and this community that was sitting out here tonight, they don't realize what happens behind the scenes and it's really good.
I can say, I think Ronnie agrees too. I've not been on a board that I've enjoyed more
Right.
than this
Exactly,
board.
yeah.
And it's been fun to work with everybody. The new guys, Carl, in spite of him being late every time. But it's been a great board to be on.
Yes, it is. Definitely. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. This is over.
There you go, come here, you might as well stand over here with these two.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll get a picture there.
which one you want?
Yard
Doesn't
ornaments.
matter.
That's right.
How about
Get out of here.
But you won't have to water those much.
No, that's true. Actually, too much water might not be good.
There we go.
That's true.
Yeah.
You guys aren't photographers, are
Nope.
Let's do the one where you jump.
you?
Yeah.
18 years.
You got a long time yet.
I got a little bit to go here.
Those do have some John Deere parts on them. A little bit bad.
There might be a JD stamp there. This one's about ready.
That was gonna slide off, we don't want it. They're a little top heavy, so be careful when you get them in the ground.
Super.
Yep.
That is super.
You can even around anywhere you want.
You just drive it straight to ground.
Yep, where you cool. Take it in the winter time and you enjoy it inside.
Yeah. Got something new, honey, I got something new for the dining room.
My wife thinks
Yeah, that's
I love
right.
it. No, it will be neat in the yard. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's hard to leave. Well. Again, can't thank all of you enough. Anything else to come before the board?
I make a move to adjourn.
Second that.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was good.